Hi, welcome to Between Techie. In my previous video, we learned about what is an object, right? And today we are going to learn about how to create an object and how to make an use of an object. Before proceeding with creating and making an use of object, I would like to teach you what is a class. So we are going to learn about the class. Class is nothing but in Python everything is an object, we know, right? So to create objects we require some plan or blueprints, which is nothing but class. Class provides platform to store all the properties and behavior of an object. Properties means attributes and behavior means actions. Properties can be represented by variables and actions can be represented by methods. Hence, class contains both variables and methods. Class can be created with the help of predefined keyword called as class. Okay, so now we'll see what is the syntax of creating a class. Syntax of creating a class is class, this is the predefined keyword class, and following it class name, following it colon. Alright, next we have to hit the enter. Then a class can be having its own logic or statements, and here it will be taking one tab space in default, which is the syntax of creating a class. Alright, next is syntax of creating an object. So what is the syntax? Syntax will be object name equals to class name parenthesis. Okay, let's see the examples of creating class and object. Let me create one class. Okay, so this is the predefined keyword to create a class. Class, let me write the class name as demo colon. Now I'm just printing some message between techie. Alright, so now if I'll run this class or run this program, what should be the output? Output should be between techie. See here the output between techie. Alright, so next is let's create an object. Okay, let me mention it, class creation. This is object creation. Let me just comment it, these two lines. right? So next is object creation. So how we can create the object? Before creating the object, we got to know the syntax will be object name equals to class name. So object name equals to class name means before creating the object, we need to create the class. Then only we can use the class name as object. Alright. So let's see. Class demo. I'll create one variable a equals to 10. Alright. I have created the class. Class name is demo, and I have created one variable and I have assigned some value 10 to the variable a. Alright. Now I'll create one object. So object, any name you can give. So I am just giving obj. Let's take it obj. Obj equals to, obj is nothing but the class name, sorry, object name. Okay. So object name is equals to class name demo parenthesis. Alright. So we have class, we have created the class, and we have created the object. Object is nothing but obj. Okay. So now we are going to print the object. Alright. So now we are going to print the object, or we can say we can use the object. Okay. Let's print obj dot a, which refer to obj dot a. Alright. So what it means, what is the value of a? Object is reference to class, because we have created this class, and we have created this object as class name demo. So object dot a, so we are going to print the same. Alright. So value will be 10. Also I can print through class name also, demo dot a. You can see here demo dot a. So value will be 10 10. See. Alright. So next we are going to see another example. Let's see. I'll create one class a. Okay. Next I am just assigning some value to the variable a. Next I'll create one object equals to what I said, object equals to class name and parenthesis. Alright. So let's print object dot a. Alright. Next is let's print a dot a. Capital A means this is the class and I am referring to the variable a. Right. Okay, same example I have taken. So now I'll change the value of a. Let's change the value of a. So I have already created the class a, capital A. So now I am going to change the value of small a. So through capital A, through the class A, I'll change the value of small a. All right. So a dot small a equals to 50. Right now the value of A is 50. So please try to understand the memory location. Okay, how the memory at the memory location values are has been changed. Okay, so previously A was having 10 which we printed, and now we have changed the value of A is 50. All right, so right now I'm going to print the value of object dot A. Let's print capital A dot A. Let's see, and again I'll change the value of A through object. All right, which is also possible. Object dot A equals to 90. All right, next print object dot A and print class dot A. So please try to understand. Okay, suppose we had a memory location. In that memory we have two things, one is class, another one is object. So class A means we have created one class, and that class is having one variable, that is A. A is having the value 10. Okay, and next we have created one object. So object is nothing but the same class name. Okay, so object will be having the access to the same class. All right, so now object dot A, which refers to the variable. So object, through object dot A we can see the same value of A as whatever the value as in capital A, that is class A. All right, so now in next we have changed the value of A, okay, through our class name. All right, so in that case if we want to print the value of small a through object, so again it is going to show me the result as 50. And if I am trying to print the value of A through class, it is again going to show me the result as 50. But in this case, here you can see I have changed the value of A through object. Okay, through object. So that means object dot A will be 90, but capital A dot A will be 50, because we have not changed the value here. We have changed through object level only. All right, so let's see the output. 10, okay, 10 10, this is 10 10. Again we have changed, so that is why it will be 50 50. Again we have changed the value of A through through an object, so that is why it is showing me 90, and next print it will be showing me 50. All right, so now we'll see something else, that is to access method inside a class. Okay, okay, so here we can create one class A, all right, and then we can create one method here. Suppose I am taking the disk method, whichever I have created previously. Okay, now I'll print something here. Print between Tiki. Okay, now I'll create one object equals to class name and parenthesis, right? So now I'll call the method through the object dot disp. All right, so let's see what we can print. It is throwing me an error. Why? Because we have not used self. Okay, here I need to use the self. Okay, so right now we can check. See, so you must be having the question why we are using self, right? So let's see what exactly self is. So our next topic is self. In Python, when you write a class, there is no implicit reference to the current object or instance of the class. Therefore, the first parameter is always the instance reference. Self is used as a temporary placeholder for an object. Self is like a pointer which points to the object of class. Self is always reference to the current instance of the class. It is not mandatory to use the self variable, but it is a good practice for Python standard to make use of self. All right, so let's see what we studied here. In Python, when you write a class, there is no implicit reference to the current object. So if I have created this method, there is no current reference or direct reference to this method. Okay, so for this object, the default current reference will be self. All right, so in the last point, if you remember, I have mentioned it is not mandatory to use self variable, but it is a good practice for Python standard to make use of self. So instead of self, I can use anything. Hello. Anything I can write. Or I can say A. Whatever I can take, it will be acceptable. Let's see whether it is printing. Yes, it is printing. That means this is not mandatory to use self only. But what I said, this is a good practice in Python standard to make an use of self, because wherever you will be going in the any company or each and every company standards, you will be see there everyone will be using self keyword. All right, so that is why we are also following the same thing. We will be using self keyword. All right, so this is an example you have seen. So next, let me go for the next example. Let me mention it as self. All right. Let's say I just commented it, and let me create another. Let me give you another example. So let's create another class A colon. Next, def days. Let me take self comma A, then print I'll take between takey, okay, comma a variable I have taken. Okay, so now let me create the object equals to what I said, class name. Okay, let me call the object dot days. Here you can see self comma a. Okay, self is nothing but, I said, it is a temporary placeholder for an object. Okay, so this will be directly, this is used for directly reference to the object. Okay, so this is clear, right? We have taken another variable here, which is a, which means we need to pass some value for the parameter a, right? So now I'm just giving some messages for a, that take made easy. All right, so let's see the output between take made easy. Okay, so like that we can provide multiple, here we can provide multiple arguments. Suppose I have taken b also here. Okay, let me use of b also. Okay, so I have used b also. So here I'll take let me print here something, and comma. Okay, so now you can see it is by default showing me a is and b is take made easy. All right, or let me change it to says. Okay, so now what you understand here, that we have created the object as class name, and we are going to call the same object, sorry, same, I mean we are going to call the method through the object. Okay, object.taste, and we are passing two variables or two values of two variables, those are a and b. So I am passing says and take made easy. Okay, so here once it will be called, here it will be coming, and here in the disk you can see self comma a comma b. So three arguments we have, but we are passing two values. So first value or first argument, it will be, it can be anything. Instead of self you also can write anything. Okay, that will be a variable, but here the first parameter, it will be considered as the direct reference to the object. Okay, so we cannot use this one. All right, so next parameter or argument a, it will be the value as says, and b value will be take made easy. So same, we are going to print between tick says take made easy. Okay, all right, so now we'll see another example. Class A def test1, I'll take self comma a. All right, print, sorry, what happened? Okay, so here I'll tell hello world. This is the common message in entire computer world, you have seen a lot. So hello world, and I'm using the variable a here. All right, so now I'll create another method, def this2. Okay, I'll mention self only, and I'm printing. Let's print one message, how are you? All right, so you saw this one. Now here I have created one class and two methods I have created. So likewise, you can create multiple method, multiple functions in a class. As I said previously, that this is the blueprint of an object to store the variables and behaviors in the class. All right, so now we'll create an object equals to class name, a parenthesis, then we can object dot this1. So this one is self comma a. You can see auto suggestion, so self is not required when we are not going to provide anything, but a value we need to pass, right? So let me print here, suppose John, and then I'll say object dot this2. Okay, so now we'll see what is the output. Hello world John, how are you? All right, so that means we can create an object, and we can call the different methods in the same class. Okay, and we can create multiple methods in a single class, and we can call all those methods through an object. Okay, are we clear? And one more thing you can note down, instantiation is used to create an object. Instantiation is used to create an object. Okay, so remember this one. All right, so I hope class and object creation is clear for you. All right, so next class in my next video we are going to learn about constructors. All right, I hope this video makes an effect for you. If you feel this is really helpful to you, please like, comment, share my channel, and please do not forget to press the bell icon to subscribe my channel. Thank you.